All right. So, Jean-Francois, welcome back to F.A.C.E. Got you on mute and
There we go.
there you go. It's the free chart. It's a free charting analysis experience.
Pretty much. I've been doing this for a few years. I'm a nobody when it comes to trading. I'm not. I never went to school for this. I don't have any kind of.
You have a college degree from the University of Hard Knocks.
I would imagine so. Besides that, I'm an electronics engineer by trade. So I do have the ability to focus on problems, and I think that's what got me through the winning side of trading. And so from a while ago, our last interview, I think, was beginning of February. You and I were speaking, and I was thinking at the time that
Are you going to share your screen, Sean?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, there we go.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You and I were talking in February, and at the time we were thinking the euro might be dropping a little further, which it did. Actually, let me switch to my other browser. Here we go. And so
we just have your pictures up there.
Yeah.
Right
now.
You have to hit the green share screen.
Yep.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
So when you and I spoke last time, we were right there February 1st. A couple days later, our friend Francine Pinkert
we just lost your audio when you began to share. Now you're okay. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And so a couple days after you and I met, Francine Lagarde released the ECB numbers, and then shortly thereafter, Mr. Putin started his invasion, and so the euro's been falling ever since. At the time, I had a target of 1050. We got to the target and then some.
Yes.
Right? And so as we speak right now, I'm thinking this latest low, the low of 2017, 2016, all the way back here, is going to get retested. I think you may have mentioned that at the beginning of your show this morning. And so if this is to happen, then as a result of that, I would expect a bounce back up to that break, 38% of that big drop.
Back to 109,
as I'm looking,
that
exactly. And so that would be a 38% retracement from that upper drop. When I look at that through TradingView, I'm looking at the dollar to get my bearings. And when I see the dollar on a monthly scale, I'm looking at something like this. And so being a range trader, I see ranges on all time frames. On the monthly time frame, the range I'm looking at looks something like this. And being a measured move, I look to the Dixie to find its way up to 116 or so over the course of time. Right. So as we speak right now, this is the current month that we're in. I would anticipate the euro to drop back a little bit. So the Dixie to drop back towards 100.
John, someone's asking,
if I see that move.
Someone's asking, is this in Trader Evolution platform?
This one here is TradingView, but my trading platform is Trader Evolution. This is Trader Evolution. And so I use Trader Evolution for my day-to-day trading, but I use TradingView to do my drawings, to do my analysis.
Okay.
So with TradingView, when I'm looking at the Dixie, I start off on the higher time frame. I look at this chart maybe once a month, and then I focus mostly on the weekly and the 4 hours. So the weekly shows me something more practical, something more tradable. And when I look at the weekly Dixie, this is kind of what I'm looking at, looking for a retracement back to the 100 level. On the 4-hour chart, which is something even more practical, I can actually play this hour by hour or half hour by half hour as I see fit. And so this is the picture I'm looking at.
Pop we're getting today is going to be a failing rally, like a B wave, and then a C to come.
Exactly. That's kind of my train of thought, exactly. And so looking at the Dixie in that perspective, then I can go over to look at my euro and then trade the euro in that same fashion. Now, my trading all gets done on the 1 minute chart. I place all of my trades on the 1 minute chart. I manage them through on the 1 minute, and I close them on the 1 minute. And the perception that I have is it comes from this little box here. This is a sigma. It's the smallest move that the 5-minute chart is willing to make. And once I've determined what that sigma is, I take those dimensions, which is 9 pips tall, 12 5-minute bars, and I apply those dimensions to my 1-minute chart. And so now I have a 9-pip box by 60 1-minute bars long. And I just play through that 2 pips at a time. And so as I'm playing for 2 pips, 2 pips, 2 pips, I'm looking for support or resistance, looking to my left. And my brain is now tricked into believing that I'm in total control of my risk. My box has a call of action on 3 sides, right? If I break the top of the box, I have something to do. If I break the bottom of the box, I have something to do. If I break the edge of the box, I have something to do. If I remove the boxes, it's just price floating in midair. It becomes very ambiguous. I have a lot more questions, and I don't have a plan on 3 sides. So my trading became a lot more consistent because my behavior became consistent, right? The size of the box is not really a priority. It's the behavior around the box that forces me to do the same thing all of the time. And so if I'm buying because volatility is coming in right here. I anticipated the price to do this, to come here and exit there. It exited way sooner than I anticipated. And so that tells me volatility is incoming. And sure enough, we got another box worth, right? And so every time volatility comes in, this box is a unit of measure, like a measuring cup. And so before the war started, the market was typically moving 3 to 4 boxes per day. And now with the war, the market is moving 7 or 8 boxes per day. It's the same box. So it's like a recipe, right? The recipe before the war was 4 boxes, and now it's 7 or 8 boxes. And so I keep my eye basically on the market through this box. It's this lens that I look through in order to behave the same over and over, regardless what the market throws at me inside the box.
So, right? That old expression, think outside the box, we could throw it away and think inside and outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. And the really convenient thing about this is what I've come to discover is every time frame has its own box, right? There's a sigma on the 1-hour chart. There's a sigma on the 4-hour chart. And so you can play one within the other, right? You can play the 5-minute box inside of the hourly box, so on and so forth. And so I've figured out a way to keep my risk in check based on this box, and my behavior is almost instantaneous now. As soon as I see something break through the box, I know what to do. And when we're back in the box, then my best interest is always on the edges, right? I make the best trades on the edge of the box. Those are pre-measured. It's a measured move, right? So my best location.
You trade the retests of the box, like you had that one pullback back to the top of
like ping pong.
Your lower box and the bottom of your second box right there. That was a
exactly.
Okay.
And I do that quite a bit. This ping pong, basically this box allows me to trade trend ambivalent. If I trade backwards, upside down, I still make money, but it's a difficult day. I have a lot of break-even trades, a lot of wash trades, a lot of averaging in, averaging out. If I trade with the wind in my sails, my trading is a blast. It's a breeze. 2 pips, 2 pips, 2 pips, 2 pips, couple hours, and I'm done. And so it's a strategy that evolved over time. Yeah, they love to be my broker.
Yeah.
No.
I hope you don't mind me, but I asking you this, but I think you were at the trader funding program webinar that we did when we introduced it. Did you sign up and take an assessment with your style of treatment? Okay, and how did it go?
Yes, I did. It went extremely well for about 3 weeks, and then I blew up all at once the day the war started.
Okay.
The day the war started, I basically, I guess you would call it ego got in the way. Considering that you guys and Blake and everybody else is looking at the results, I think that got in my way. And so, I kind of blew over the edge. But the first 600 or 700 trades were flawless. I was having a blast in that account. And then Putin started talking crap, and the market started moving double, triple what it normally. Yeah, exactly.
So, and would you give it another try?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm just waiting now for the start of the new month. But absolutely, 8-cap has the right spreads, the right commissions. The structure within 8-cap fits this strategy very, very well. And so because I'm targeting 2 pips, that's with this broker, I'm more than happy to move up to 3 pips if I have to pay slightly more spreads. Right, so the ability to capture the 2 pips is a function of the ATR, so as the time progresses, the ATR shrinks, and therefore that's when I stop trading. I don't work overtime for less than normal rate. Right,
it's 8-cap, they're not a U.S. broker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So where are they located? Australia?
Yes, I think they're in Australia.
Okay.
And I live in Canada, so I don't have the same restrictions as you guys do, but nonetheless, they take us in no matter what. And I had a blast trading through there. The trading conditions are perfect, and this strategy fits well within the requirements of your funding program. And so the drawdown limits are not a problem. It's the ego that's a problem.
Okay.
And so
all right.
That's something I'm still dealing with. Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's no different. I traded a few years back, and then I stopped for a couple of years, and now over the last 6 or 7 months, I'm getting my feet wet again. And I'm rediscovering
you could
a
have
lot
any
of
system. It's all in your head. That was a testimonial about how when your head and psychology is not right, you could have a box, a triangle, or a parallelogram, and it won't make any difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. The last entry in my journal from that day that I blew up is, I wonder if Dale and Blake look at this.
Well, I didn't even know you signed up. I figured you would. And anyway, so it was interesting to hear what your reaction is, and definitely it's a testimonial to that. It's not a kind of program where people we're just trying to get money out of people without giving them a chance, and a good chance, right?
Absolutely. I was in there for a few weeks, and I put in a few hundred trades before I got myself cornered. And so, it was absolutely all of my doing. But your program, your offer is valid. It's upfront. It's honest, and I will sign up again tomorrow. It's one of those things, I have too many things on my plate as we speak, but for sure, I think within a couple of weeks I'll be able to go back and try it a second time. And it's not that I want.
Do you teach people
I
your
teach
method?
this method, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I teach this method very, very briefly. It's not a written down course. It's 1 hour chit chat every week for 4 weeks, and then people come back and see me as required. And so it's really a simple, curriculum. It's more trade or learn as you trade, rather than forced education. And book learning, this kind of stuff really doesn't work.
Yeah. So how do people, what's the best way? Contact you on Twitter to get a hold of you, Jean?
Twitter works. My website works well too.
Show your website.
JasperForex.com.
All right.
JasperForex.com gets the job done. Here, it's bringing up there. And so it's just like an old dirty newspaper. It's a 1-page with some information on it and the kind of stuff that I do. It's really simple.
You had the Moscow clock up before you went, so you should take that clock down now.
The fact that he was, I should. He was. This whole event started in the Asia session, kind of tripped me up at the time. Yeah. I was totally not expecting that to happen at that time, and totally misbehave around the event. And
all right.
so
Well,
I paid the
someone's
price.
asking for your Twitter handle, so I'm gonna put it's at Jasper Forex, right?
That's right, at Jasper Forex. The strategy itself, because I aim to operate for just a couple hours per day, the most productive couple hours for my session seem to be between 8 and 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. So just after the U.S. Open, and I do that for a couple hours each day, and it yields about $300 to $400. If I go beyond that, I can push the limits, but the ATR per bar starts to shrink, and then I find myself working, for less money, and usually I end up having to wait a lot longer for my close to trade. There's this basis here is it's a high probability trade. It's 2 pips, right? So my win rate is in the 90s, and the win rate being in the 90s is what overcomes the upside down risk to reward ratio, because my stop loss is 35 pips, right?
Yeah,
My stop loss is it's a long tail stop.
Right.
And so I need the space to operate, to average in, average out, to do what I need to do to earn that 2 pips, much like an insurance company, right? So I'm churning over my float, and I'm protecting my downside, just like the insurance company really is reluctant to pay out on claims.
Okay, well, I tell you what,
So
Jean, I could tell people could learn a lot from you, especially people that are interested in being glued to their platform and scalping like this. And appreciate you being here. And anything that you want to wrap it with, maybe we'll get you a couple of students here today.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as long as trading, is what you want to do, it's one step at a time. It is all about psychology, so it's learning about oneself, not really learning about the market. And so that's kind of why I don't rush the process of teaching this to you guys.
Right.
Anybody that chooses to sign up, it's really, really cheap. And the intent is for you to keep coming back for a long, long time. Don't expect to learn this all in a weekend and then be a millionaire by the end of the next month.
No, it's a process.
That will never happen.
It's a process. And
yeah,
it
absolutely.
takes most people 4 years to have a breakthrough.
Yeah.
So
it took me slightly longer than that. But
yeah, so I mean, if you're not willing to work hard and live through adversity, find something else to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And for me, I suffered a big loss early in my career, and so I kind of devoted the rest of my life to get that money back. And that had me driven. I was driven to do this. A lot of people born with silver spoons in their mouth, they're okay losing a couple $1,000s per day. I was not like that. And so I think that had a big impact on my trading. So it's, our upbringing, our view of money and all that kind of stuff will play a great deal towards your outcome. And it's one step at a time.
I like your openness too, Jean. You talk,
awesome.
You talk about the
downside.
God bless the broken road that led me to the box. Okay. So, you talk about what you have to go through to get there. And that's
it's not
important.
Free. Yeah. The market's not in the business of giving away free money, huh?
And Mr. Market's a mean guy, and he'll shake out as many participants as possible before the move that they're looking for will happens. Then most likely without them.
Yep. Yeah, that's happened to me a million times.
Yeah.
And so I had to devise a way that put me a step in front and basically laid a trap for the market to fall into. And that's what this little box allows me to pre-measure. I can anticipate the length of that move, and I can prepare myself or capture as many of these 2 pips as I can inside that box. And so, it's all about probabilities.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for sharing your experience with the Trader Funding Program, and showing us your box. And I know, I used to trade like this when I was younger. I loved being glued to my platform and scalping like this. So, if this is for you guys, I'll tell you what, this man has experience and wisdom. Pick his brain.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. So great talking to you, Jean. Good luck on your next attempt. on the trader funding program, I know you could do it.
Oh, I know I can. I've done it before.
Yeah.
I stepped away for 2 years, and now I'm coming back bigger than ever. So here we go.
Well, you know, I root for you.
Thank you. Thank you,
buddy.
Talk to you soon.
All right, John. Jean-Francois Boucher. I'd say a French Canadian. Is that a good guess?
That's absolutely right.
All right. Thank you, John. Good hunting,
Thank
buddy.
you, Bob. Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. See you, Ann, Ronit, everyone. Have a good rest of the day. Quebec. Yeah. Okay. See you, Ronit. Alexander. And thanks again one more time, Sean.
Thanks.
Adios.
Bye.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.